This week, I'm sharing a tutorial on how to DIY embroidery cursive text onto a t-shirt like this one. I've shared on the channel how much I love embroidery, and you probably saw this t-shirt before in the Fall Capsule Wardrobes looks video, which I will link up top. So today I'm gonna walk through how I did this "Girl, you look great" embroidery. The first thing that I wanna mention though is that in doing this in the future, I want to do something a little bit different. So if you're looking to do something like this is kind of like a pre-boarding announcement. This is what I would do differently. I did find the knit fabric to be a bit stretchy, and so next time I would add some cotton fabric in the back or some sort of stabilizer so that it'd be easier to embroider. It did turn out great, but it will just make your life a lot easier. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is figure out what you want to write out. After this, you can look for a font that works well for you. I decided to go with this simple cursive look and to write out "Girl, you look great," because we all can use some more of those positive vibes. After my planning, I went on to tracing. Using a light box and a water-soluble pen, I transferred the design over to where I wanted it embroidered. For me, I used a window as a light box, which worked fine. You can purchase specific light boxes for this purpose at craft stores, but this worked totally fine. Once the text is traced, I threaded my needle with the black embroidery floss. I used 4 of the 6 strands of the floss. To start the stitching, I'm using a stem stitch, which is really good for cursive fonts. A stem stitch is a stitch where you insert through the back, create a stitch length, and then point the needle down to go through the back. You will hold the thread to ensure you don't pull the stitch completely through, and then you insert the needle back in between the 2 stitches, pulling through the thread to the side of the stitch you just made. You want to ensure you're going in the same motion until you finish the letter. For me, I'm working on the left side of the stitches. A tip with the stem stitch is to ensure that you're doing smaller stitches when you come close to curves. This will allow for you to get that curvy look. I also did the French knot stitch to create dots for my eyes. This is another simple stitch that involves coming through the back and wrapping the embroidery thread around the needle. For me, I did this 4 times and I held the knot while inserting the needle close to where it initially came through. With those 2 stitches, the stem stitch and the French knot stitch, you should be able to create a beautiful embroidered cursive look just like mine. I did make sure that I used a separate piece of embroidery floss for each word because I didn't want to have any carrying over of threads because I'm using a white shirt and black floss, so I don't want all these lines happening. As I've already mentioned, I absolutely love my shirt, I love embroidery, and just want to add it more into my making practice. I share a lot more of my making on Instagram, so you can find me there at handmakingmel. And if you like the video, hit the like button and of course subscribe to see more videos. Comment below and let me know if you've done embroidery before, if you've done it on a knit. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.